Yeah, what's up, everybody? Lawler here, talking about more RLCS action. We got the championships this week, and of course, as we said in yesterday's video, we have a recap, and that is going to be happening the rest of this week. We have every single day, today being now day 2, a recap of the matches that went down in North America and Europe, as well as a show match from the Middle East region, which was pretty dope. Obviously, there's a lot of things on the line. Teams are getting eliminated after 10 or 11 months of action, and it all comes to an end due to one goal, one series, whatever it may be, and leads to some pretty big highs and some pretty big lows. And unfortunately, for some of those lows, it leads to some frustration, and that pressure leads to a tweet. Yep. Day 2 recap for the RLCS X Championships. We've got a lot to cover, so we're going to get straight into it. As always, though, if you guys do enjoy the content, or if you have additional questions, comments down below, thumbs up, subscribe, notifications, you know what to do. So first things first, we get into Europe as they start bright and early at 10 a.m. my time, and we had only 3 matches today. We're going to break them down in order of the way they were aired on the broadcast. Stream wasn't too bad today. Went from 10 to like 2, so about 4 hours, which is a pretty solid watch time. You don't really get that burnout, which is good. So first match was Guild versus Queso. If you guys didn't remember from the bracket, Top Blokes and Guild played. Because Guild loses, they drop down. Solary and Queso played. Queso wins, they move on. So those two meet in the middle. And these two are playing to go and play against BDS, which just sounds scary altogether. These are also best of 5. So we have a best of set with best of 5s. And it starts off with Team Queso and Guild in a really interesting atmosphere. Team Queso comes out, Spanish bim bam as always, really aggressive, really in your face, constant challenges. And I'm sitting here talking to my chat like, yo, if Guild's going to win this, they can't sit back and watch. They got to be the aggressor. They've got to beat Queso at their own game and find ways to do so. And there's a little bit too much space being given in the midfield, which did allow Queso to do what they do best. And then you started to see it from Guild, a lot more aggression. You weren't seeing as many whiffs as the other day, and they started clawing back, and they win 4-1 and 1-0. And Team Queso just had another level behind that. And you saw at the end of Game 4 and then Game 5 that Queso looked like they wanted to run away with this one. Just so much pressure, so many shots on target to the point where Guild just could not make saves. Nothing was going their way. A lot of frustrations coming in on the cameras that you saw. A certain player even threw his controller at the wall at one point, which you'll probably see later in the highlights. But yeah, Team Queso, very aggressive, lots of challenges. And even though they double, triple commit, a player on the rotation back will make sure they cut back into the rotation to buy that extra time for the teammates that are rotating back, and it allows them to continue that pressure. We then go into the second series after the first one ended 3-2 in overtime, which I said to chat, I'm like, this is the moment. If whoever wins this is pretty much giving themselves a chance, because if you lose this, you battle in Game 5. It's so much more different in these series when you look at, oh, it's a best of 5, we win or we lose, that's how it is. But when there's another set coming after, another series coming after, securing that one after it goes the distance, just for mentality and momentum and everything else within the match itself, is just so huge. So you see Queso actually close it out in 2 minutes and 10 seconds of OT, and very similar to a lot of the other issues that happened where it's a bad rotation or people kind of trip up or something like that happens and they get punished for it. So a lot of similarities. These matches are extremely close, and it does come down to that one mistake or this team denying boost and suffocating, and you just can't find that clear. Teams are getting really good, and it's really exciting to watch. We then go to series number 2, and at this point, Team Queso just could not be beat. They have a lot of momentum behind them, and they're just playing faster. Guild just can't get much going. The times that they do, Queso immediately responds back. Game 1 is 2-1. Game 2 is 3-2. And then Game 3 is 2-0, and they close it out. 2 early goals, and they just, again, kill the time. So Team Queso and Guild both put up a valiant effort. Unfortunately for Guild, there is some frustration because they do fall short, and eliminations happen. And you guys obviously saw the stuff that happened. I'm not going to get into it. It's a lot of pressure, a lot of things on the line, and of course, certain things come out. I don't think you guys have seen the original tweet as to what it really started with, but it was actually off an apology, and it just a big headache. So if you guys want to go deep dive it, links to it's probably in the description. Otherwise, you guys probably saw the tweet, so you can go and check it out on Twitter. Immediately after that match, we then got into a show match, and these are the show matches I'm okay with. There's some 2v2s. There's an NA 2v2 and an EU 2v2 that's going to be happening today and tomorrow, which I'm kind of like, why? But the Japanese and the Middle East show matches, I'm all for. I think it's super cool. So immediately after the European matches, which are today and on, I think, Friday, this is going to happen. You end up getting a show match. So the one today is Middle East. There's a 3v3, and it's only a best of 3, so it goes pretty quick. And we got to see Sandrock Gaming, which is obviously the notable team. Everybody knows Sandrock Gaming from Middle East. And Empty. And for those that don't know Empty, this is the other team that was the first to qualify for the Middle Eastern for Intel World Open. They are the first 2 teams to qualify. That's why they're playing each other, because most recently they performed the best. So Empty is made up of Impressive, Twiz, and SMW, and then Sandrock is Okhalid, Ahmad, and Senzo. And Senzo's a bully. If you guys don't know, Senzo is like Virtuoso, but on steroids, man, sometimes. That boy is so smart with creating space and opportunities. And this one was a lot closer. And I think it's really cool to see the fact that Middle East is getting some exposure on the main stage, 100,000 viewers, all that kind of stuff, and opening eyes to people like, yeah, this is a really good region. And it's not just Sandrock Gaming. Game 1 is actually in favor of Empty. They win 1-0 and are able to shut out Sandrock Gaming. And we're like, man, when are these guys going to score? When is it actually going to come? And they just had so many different shots and different approaches, but they just couldn't put it under the crossbar. They couldn't put it in the back of the net. That changes in game 2. Eventually, they end up scoring again after being shut out for a while. And then it's ended up being like a flip reset and a setup to win and tied up. And then they go into OT and then they win in 36 seconds. So overtime in game 2, 2-1. And then in game 3, 3-1. Sandrock Gaming started to find their groove. Kind of got comfortable and it showed. A lot of mechanics of the team. Really, very talented. Just across the board. And they're fun to watch. It's a really good quick show match. At most, it'll take you like 15, 20 minutes out of your day. Go check it out. It's a good time. So that is the Middle East show match that happened in the middle. It's kind of like your intermission match. And then we get into North America. North America today was between G2 Esports and Rogue. Similar situation. Space Station and Rogue. Rogue lost, so they dropped down. G2 beat FaZe. They come together for harmony of a beautiful match. And man, I was interested on how this one was going to play out play style wise, because obviously Rogue is fast. Feed the rock to first killer, let him do his thing, which definitely happened. It started a little bit slow for Rogue. But G2, man, G2's playing some good Rocket League. Like, really clean rotation, constant pressure. Defense is just built different. G2's playing really well. Pardon my language, but very impressive Rocket League. And I was wondering how Rogue was going to adjust. So in Series 1, it was a 3-0 from G2. They held Rogue to 2 goals, which is very tough to do. It was 2-1, 2-0, and then 2-1. Not a high-scoring game, but again, when there's that much aggression and everything, G2 definitely playing the more defensive side of it because of how aggressive Rogue tends to be. But there is some whiffs here and there. There's some missed touches. And then they had a break. Tactical timeout. A little bit of time to kind of figure things out. And we then go into Series 2 after a bit of a break. And Rogue finally starts to get the ball rolling. It looks like First Killer is using that aggression and that speed and that demo heavy. Like at one point, he 1v3'd. He took it into the sidewall after winning a challenge. He pre-flips to pass it past another bullies and bumps a player on the back wall and then gets underneath and tips another player to open up a shot for his team. It's just like those things of why, yes, this is why he's so good, is those capabilities to really benefit his teammates. You also saw randomly when like tactical timeouts were happening and Corrupted G was talking, Turo's on his phone. I don't know if he's taking notes or like the joke that they made on stream is he's Googling how to beat JNaps because JNaps played out of his goddamn mind. It was a really good series. Chicago was crushing every shot, wasn't having issues with the crossbar. And then he started having issues with the crossbar because that's how Caster Curse works. And just a really fun and entertaining series to watch. NA definitely, I think, had the upper hand for the entertainment factor today. EU was just a little bit slow and a little bit lesser, I guess. And it's not anything bad. It's just Rogue and G2 have a very fun play style to watch. And G2 with Drees, I think, has a really cool storyline. I still think he's getting that 3-year contract if they win the whole thing. I memed about it during Lawler land, but like legitimately, if Drees keeps playing the way he is, sign him to a 3-year and put it down, put it in writing because he's been playing great. So G2 as a whole, JNaps popped off. Drees was playing really well. A couple of mistakes here and there with the intensity of what's going on, but cleaned it up. Had some really important goals. Then you have Chicago that's just kind of orchestrating the whole thing and also being really impactful. On the Rogue side, you saw a little bit of whiffs here and there, but G2 just played their match. And the exciting thing in Series 2 is because it does start off in favor of Rogue. 5-2, the biggest differential. Then 4-2, You've now got G2 backs up against the wall. What are we going to do? How are we going to win this? And they end up reverse sweeping and closing it out. They close out the set with a reverse sweep, which is incredible. So it's 5-2 Rogue, 4-2 Rogue, 5-1 G2, 3-0 G2, 3-1 G2. I don't know what Jazzo has got these boys sipping on or what he's saying in these interviews. I'm looking forward to that comm video because I always mention game 3 being the pivotal moment. You've got a couple games under your belt. You understand how the team plays. Let's make those adjustments, which is really tough to do with how fast Rocket League is with only, 60 seconds to make those conversations happen. It's crazy watching these coaches have that impact of being like, yo, these are the changes we need to make. Start to implement them. And it's just like a switch and it immediately goes the other way. And it's really exciting to watch. So yeah, these best of sets, even though I do think they are a little much, they are very exciting when you can do only like 1 or 2 a day. Day 1 with 4 of them was just a lot, but when you only have 2 of them, I think it's perfect. So it's just a really good 4 hours of Rocket League, really exciting matches, really fun across the board. Unfortunately for G2, and even though I don't really care who wins, G2's got to go up against Energy, and I don't know if anybody can beat Energy in 3 best of 7s. That will be very, very exciting. That is today. We've got Energy and G2 playing each other in 3 best of 7s. That will be starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. Europe will be right before that, which will be at 11 a.m. Eastern. And then we've got a show match of some capacity. I think it's a 2v2 show match. It is EU. It'll be apparently Jack and Jorias versus Itachi and Steak. So we've got EU 2v2 tomorrow / today, based on when I'm recording this video. So on the 17th, which is when this video comes out, you'll have the Europe match, which is BDS versus Queso to start us off, which is going to be amazing. And then immediately after that, you've got apparently Jack and Jorias going up against Itachi and Steak. And then after that, you've got Energy versus G2. It's going to be a really good day of Rocket League, and it's only going to get better moving forward. So some pretty exciting stuff on the docket for today's schedule, which is weird to talk about because I'm recording this previous day. But with that said, if you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, let me know in the comments down below. Links to everything in the description if you guys would like to follow along with this stuff. Also doing watch parties over at twitch.tv/Lawler. We watched everything yesterday. Probably going to do the same thing today when this video comes out for y'all. If you want to come hang out with us, we stream every day but Tuesday and Sunday. But might have to make an exception for the grand finals this weekend. So that is going to wrap up this video. As always, I do appreciate all the love and support, all the thumbs ups and likes and comments and all that kind of stuff for the algorithm. Make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're trying to get to 50K by the end of the year. Also, last minute reminder, Sizz is not able to coach this series. Keep in mind, with the suspension, that video is blowing up. Fruity's getting mad at me because he's like, it keeps getting recommended to me. I'm like, yeah, just watch it, dude, for the people. But Sizz is not able to coach this match. Keep that in mind. It could have an impact. We'll see how it goes. So I will be definitely paying attention to see if there is any differences or if the guys are slow to adjust or whatever it is. So some pretty crazy stuff. I know they're working hard. So that is going to do it for this video. As always, if you guys do enjoy the content, you guys know what to do. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.